how the show's going, it could be over and you could have more content. Yeah, but those discussions right there sound like, especially when Venus get up there and Fantastic get up there, and the people they have a whole like I won't be long-winded on any of these panels, but they always act like I'll be long-winded because I don't have no manifesto. I don't have no mission statement.
Gotcha.
So when they get up there, they start talking about this percentage of this and the overall picture and what we're not going for no more. So they would be along with was you up here when I showed you the clip about bread or buns, Fighter?
No.
Yeah. So if a woman asks you anything,
that's worth showing again.
What?
That's worth showing again.
The bread or buns thing?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was a little wild.
Creepy. That's creepy.
Bread or buns?
Let me grab it. Yeah. Let me grab it back. It's a thing that's happening on TikTok. I think it is a skit, but I'm sure that, like the last year it was Drizzle. The year before that it was House Husbands. So let me see. Here we are. Let me grab it up.
I've never seen so many people dislike the other sex, or at least feign to, in my life.
Well, I think a lot of these people mess with, the same sex, and they come up here just spewing stuff, or they've been indoctrinated. Because I think a lot of stuff I hear is college educated people who they think they get an education when they really get indoctrinated. And that's why they come out with such a manifesto. They can just run it off. Because I hear whole things about, and this is why black men ain't shit, because y'all never built nothing. You never been a leader, so why should I expect you to be one? And it'd be so long. It's like they wrote it. If I only heard it from one person, I would go, okay, that's what that one person. But I hear so many people say the same thing, maybe in different ways, but still the same thing. So I think you had to have gotten it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let me see the bread and buns thing.
So Fighter Complex, you were, and is that your name, baby?
Yeah, people don't know my real name. They just call me Fighter.
Okay. So when you were growing up, do you notice any of the things that Knightish and I were talking about?
Well, something that I've noticed is for example, the eating out is like he mentioned, the eating out is more prevalent now. There's less home cooking. I've noticed people in general don't know how to cook as much. That's like a lost art. When it comes to nature, I don't see there's not a lot of insects outside. I don't see a lot of squirrels like when I was young. I don't know. Everything seems different. It just seems different,
What do you attribute that to?
I would say just the way we've been moving as people. That alters everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way we're moving as people. So we can alter the environment. We definitely can.
And that's why you really need to watch the show that Knightish was talking about. That movie it's underrated. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. And I think once you see it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh.
What's the name of it again? I'll write it in my notes. What is it?
Idiocracy.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Idiocracy. So yeah, I mean, I definitely know, what was the guy?
One of the Wilson brothers is the star. I forget which one. It's Owen Wilson and another Wilson.
Wilson. Okay. I mean, like I remember that one movie that I can't forget ever. Remember the Super Size Me?
Yeah. About talking about food.
Yeah. That messed my head up. You know what I'm saying?
When you see how they make food, it might disgust you.
Yeah. That definitely messed my head up. So, it's almost like remember the guy real quick, remember the guy in the Matrix? Remember the guy that he was aware of what's right and what's wrong, but he said, "Man, F it, man. Give me the blue pill, man."
Yeah, because reality is too hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And that's what it is in real life. That's why people drink like they drink, smoke like they smoke, because it's when you really think about it, it's really challenging. I've been dealing with some stuff because I bought a house, right? And I bought it through a hard money loan. So I had to put like 30% down on it, which was a whole lot of money. So when I got in the house, I was like, oh, well, no problem. As soon as I get in here, I'll just take some of the equity out because I put so much equity in. But since it's a hard money loan, they didn't want to do that. So when I came into some financial problems, they didn't mind like keeping me caught up on the payments, but it's the house that I bought was a fixer. So it doesn't matter that you helping me catch up with the payments. The house needs to be repaired because it's a fixer. So the money I had left when I purchased it, I used all that to put doors in, take out all the fixtures because it was all this like brass looking stuff. And I put all brush nickel in. I took off all the brass door handles, brush nickel. So it's brush nickel everywhere. The doors is up. I got a floor put in the kitchen. Got appliances and stuff, but still, it's still a fixer. So the outside isn't painted. The inside is livable, the front part of the house, because I only did this to the front part of the house because that's the part I want to rent out. So it's still stuff that, so then I got a tenant in here. And in California, since they have all these strict laws, the tenant went somehow to the city and I was told that she don't have to pay rent until all the repairs is done.
Wow.
But since the mortgage people would not give me money and I had all this equity in here to repair the place, they would go, well, we think it's livable. Well, it's clearly not livable. That's why this woman just was in here and didn't have to pay me rent. So now I'm at a different place to where this stuff is systemic. They plan these different things.
That's crazy.
Same thing when I sold my old house. My house seller was this Asian lady, told me, take every picture down here. Don't leave no pictures of your family up, no, none of that. So in my mind, they don't let it be known that it's a black owner. So I was in my man cave when people would come and see the house. So they would be like, okay, we seen the house. We want to look inside the sheds back here. So I'm in the shed while they're knocking on the shed, acting like I'm not there. Why can't we go in here? For the longest, I was doing that. So the people that finally bought it was like, why can't we go in the shed? Why can't we go in the shed? So the lady knocked on the door with my house seller and was like, they wanted to see inside that because that was going to be like some determining decision. So then they saw me. So then they said, okay, well, now we know, blah, blah, blah. We're going to bring an inspector back. Now, the inspector they brought back to inspect the house, look at the plumbing and roof and all this other stuff was a black dude. But here's the thing. I did the roof like 2 years earlier, and we had did the plumbing probably about 5 years earlier. So when he came in, he said, yeah, the roof got metal flash, and he's giving me so much compliment for the work that I did with the plumbing and everything else. But see, they don't understand. I have cameras everywhere, and it's you can hear everywhere a camera is, it's a listening thing, just like my house now. Right. So they're in the corner saying, you can't find nothing wrong with the house.
Oh, shit.
They saying that to the inspector dude. He said, well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, shit.
It's like a little like water damage by the front door, but water damage is still a solid structure. It's not like I can stick a screwdriver in there, but that's the only thing we find that's wrong. They was trying to do anything to run the price down.
You see, as soon as they saw his face. That's a reality.
And I just not see him. Now, here's the cool thing. So I opened her door. They had a whole elaborate, oh, how old is your dog? Oh, it's such a nice place. It's so beautiful. Talking to me, smiling in my face. It was a LGBT community, 2 ladies. Really like pleasant and nice talking to me. We just need to bring an inspector back, if you don't mind. I said, no, I don't mind. So they brought the inspector back to try to get the price down. And then when he couldn't find anything wrong, if I didn't have the security system I had, I wouldn't have heard all that stuff they were saying. So just nice, nasty.
They could have got in trouble for that on some real.
How? Because they cussing out the inspector because he didn't find nothing wrong?
They can't get in trouble for that.
They
They
can't.
can't get in trouble for that.
Unless they paid him and he took it. Now that's a problem.
Now, if they paid him and he's like, I'm gonna lie in this report, but that wasn't gonna work either because I had my home seller had an inspector come out before they came out. So I had my own inspection, my own independent inspection at first because my home seller said it would be better to paint the house because the roof was new, the plumbing was new. I did and in 2021, I put a new kitchen in, new bathrooms in. So I don't know what their inspector was going to. He would have to come and lie. So physically on the interior, the only thing that wasn't done was the house wasn't painted. So when my home seller came, we touched up all the stucco around the house and painted the whole house. That was the only thing they needed to do. So when then people came and smiled in my face and all that stuff and was cussing out the inspector, there's no crime unless they try to bribe him or something. But he wasn't going to because that's what they was arguing about. He wasn't finna he said he got to put his report in the way that it is.
Gotcha.
There is nothing wrong. But now if he'd have took a bribe, yeah, then that'd have been something.
Yeah, they're trying to get you.
Here's bread or buns. Where is it at? Let's listen.
On TikTok or
Okay.
anywhere else, let me know.
Now that makes sense.
Take a look at this clip.
I know where this is going already.
Like, I don't get that.
Let's say I'm going with you, right? And let's say you like, yo, Idris, can we go to a nice restaurant? Obviously, I'm about to spend like $300 or better. You get what I'm saying? So what niggas will say is bread or buns. Like, you gotta get something up. You want a nigga to listen to your life problems? You gotta get something up.
So
like,
we
nothing
supposed to
in
give
America
up
is free,
bread
you
or
gotta see
buns?
some type of return on investment.
It don't have to literally be bread and buns.
It's either you paying that money or you gotta give up buns. You get what I'm saying? So bread or buns, Miss Love. India, bread or buns.
I don't understand.
It's very simple. I think it's very simple. I think it's quite genius, actually. And why is she patting a stuffed animal? I was looking at that. Like, she's literally trying to burp a stuffed animal. You know, ladies, this is how far gone women are in 2025. Anyway.
You don't burp a baby from the baby's bottom. I don't know what she's doing there, but that's not how you burp a baby.
Actually, it is, Knightish. You burp a baby from the bottom up.
No, she's just patting the bottom of this dinosaur.
Oh, I get it now. She's not taking it up at all. That's creepy. And why does she have the animal in? But I mean, he's asking the why about that, and I have to go back to your point. Why does he not understand that that's unethical if he's got a cross on his head? That the whole bread and buns thing is totally opposite of what his hat is even showing. It's like, make it make sense.
It just is symbolic. It's symbolism. So somebody's gonna see that and think one thing while he's here saying this thing. It's just a bunch of like backwards things.
It's the logo.
It's a logo.
Because I see corn stars with crosses on.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I see that all the time, man. All the time.
That's a topic for a totally different day, because I can tell you what that really means. That whole symbol that they're into, I can tell you what it means. But like we say, it's not for today.
You remember Kodak Black came out with that song. Remember the hook? Well, you don't even believe in Jesus. Well, you got a Jesus piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Like,
One more.
Indian Love, she didn't get it either. She's like, what? Guys want something in return? We can't just show up and get free food. No, you can't just show up and get free food. Hell no. We're not doing that no more. This guy summed it up pretty well. Take a look.
2024 hit us with drizzle. And we got bread or buns in 2025. And honestly, I just went down that whole bread or buns like rabbit hole here on TikTok. And I gotta admit, this shit is absolutely genius work. I mean, this is Bud Light, real men of genius type work. I absolutely fuck with it. She want her tire change, fellas? Hey, bread or buns. She needs that leak in her ceiling fixed? Bread or buns. She want her nails paid for, her hair did and all that bullshit? Hey, bitch, bread or buns. She needs you to call her a babysitter so she can go out with you tonight. Bread or buns. She wants you to.
Now, men are actually doing this. Okay, I went down the rabbit hole myself. I couldn't believe it. Like, are men really asking girls for bread or buns? They are. Take a look.
Like, how are we paying for this bill? Like, with bread or with buns?
I'll suck your dick if you pay.
Wow, look at how far bread or buns could take you. High risk, high motherfucking reward. As the founder of Bread or Buns, I am very proud to see that Bread or Buns is being perfectly executed in real life situations. Now allow me to explain what happened in this clip. This man said bread or buns in order for him to pay for his food, and the lady offered to give him neck. These are two people who 100% understand the law of equivalent exchange. Humankind cannot gain without first giving something in return. To obtain something of equal value must be lost. I want you guys to understand that bread or buns is deeper than what you guys think it is. It's not just a joke. This is real life. We be up front, we get what we want. You want your nails done, hair done, want to get taken out on a date, Chanel bag, Lululemon, you gotta give something up. Bread or buns?
Okay, this is clapback. This is trolling / clapback. You heard, Nate? You're muted.
It's the same as Drizzle was last year. You know, what's her name? Shira 7 says
Sprinkle.
And then the dudes came out with Drizzle. At first it was a joke, then they started taking it seriously. The year before that, it was House Husbands.
But if we really look at the answer to the whole thing that they're doing, these people are setting themselves up. And again, that's the reason why I have to agree with what you said original, COINTELPRO. Because if you do that, then it's considered sex as payment, which is solicitation for prostitution, which is criminal. Coerce for sex, it's sexual assault or coercion. Money and demand without an agreement is civil. All of these things are actionable in a court of law, whether they know it or not. If the chick says, "Oh, okay, no problem, I'll do X, Y, or Z," and she agrees to any of them, all of them are punishable by law. He could go to jail depending on exactly what he says and how he uses himself to enforce it. And it also matters where he does it. So all of these things end you up in one or two places. You can choose if you want to go with that whole theme, but there are laws.
So then they have the TikToks of the women that go on vacations, and then when a guy asks whatever, she goes, "You know that's trafficking, right? You can get in trouble for just asking me that."
Yep.
So now I'm getting free vacations and whatever else, and then I'm threatening you with this could be considered trafficking if I just. And then it's also the false accusations.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff is driving a wedge between people. So I'm not flying you out because that would be trafficking, even if you get on that plane from somewhere I'm not even at and you come to me.
Yep.
And if you come to me and I ask you for something, then so it's a double whammy. It's trafficking and solicitation. So what's that's going to do? It's going to make people not even mess with each other.
It's permeating our community.
Be that permanent wedge between each other is succeeding. It's working. You see,
there won't be any procreation from real good people. A good man and a good woman will never connect because of the fear of the backlash and the fear of what's going on right now. So you're not going to have it. It slowly deteriorates the community. It slowly breaks down even having real good relationships. You're not going to have that. Not
do
if
you believe it's still a community?
I don't. I believe it's so broken. It's and no one wants to listen. We're dealing with a lawless generation, unfortunately, and people don't want to listen to fix it. There's nothing inside of them to attach truth to anymore, because everybody is on the TikToks of the world. And let's not forget, TikTok here in the United States will not even be allowed in China, and that's where it hails from. This TikTok is not allowed over there. This is a propaganda machine. It's meant to do what it's doing, and that is divide, and it's doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me see.
Yeah.
We're going back to this because I think this is when Venus came up, and then we hear the agendas. Oh no, that's the wrong button. We're going right.
So yeah, man, it's just crazy to me, man. I came up because, you know, and again, I'm not really trying to particularly start no beef, but it was said that black women need to be worshipped. That is crazy, right? And I think Hood Conservative was pointing out the point that black men are the only group of men that publicly, proudly, constantly say some ridiculous shit like that. And where has it gotten us? Where has worshiping the black woman? Huh?
So you're saying it's ridiculous to worship black women?
Yes, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous for a group of people to worship women that have resulted in nothing but negatives from their behavior.
Damn.
It's ridiculous. And it's called I didn't say no while nobody was talking.
Sorry.
It's called enabling, right? So when a junkie is on drugs and you keep, you know, encouraging them to do drugs, or an alcoholic is, you know, drinking alcohol, you keep encouraging them to drink alcohol. If you keep encouraging behavior and you keep giving them positive feedback, they have no reason to change their behavior. So one of the major issues and problems as to why we just keep getting lower and lower and worse in the dumps is because black women keep getting praised for being underperformers, for horrible behavior, for all of the negative things. And they get to come out here and they get to lie and make shit up, right? Most educated. Never been the most educated. Always been a lie. Make more money than black men. Never made more money than black men. Always been a lie. So that's what we're saying, to the point of where you would worship a person that's a liar, okay? That's you know, got the kids dumb as hell while they claiming to be the most educated, and it's just nothing but these negative outcomes. Now, as far as this white woman goes, it's content. Yeah, I don't really take that for anything other than like MJ said, this is just rage bait, right? But at the same time, are white women really jealous of black women? Can we be serious? Can we be fucking for real for just 1 second? Are white women, yes. Asian women, yes. White women, Asian women, or Hispanic women? What?
Not Asian women, but white women, absolutely yes.
Yeah, no, and no, and that's see, it's a reason why. It's the reason why it's called. It's the reason why it's called. So it's the reason why it's called Miss Ann syndrome, right? It's not called Miss Shaniqua syndrome, right? So the black woman has always wanted to be in the place of the white woman. Oh, sure. Always. No, now I'm not saying that as a braggadocio thing.
You guys actually coon more than us. You're
no, never. There are no black divestors for men.
What?
There are no black male divestors.
As much as black women want to be in the position of white women, yes, and they have that secret envy, they will actually accuse you of something negative. You want to be the white man if you want to actually run your house a certain type of way. If you believe in traditional marriage, they accuse you of some type of white shit. This is why I've got to the point where I say, yeah, I want the relationship that the white man has.
Go get a white woman.
You want all the benefits that the white woman wants. So
go get
if
the
you
white
want
woman,
all the benefits that the white woman wants, if you want,
well, shit, y'all gotta let him. Y'all gotta let him on. I was almost done.
All I need is one. All I need is one mic.
Yep, just one. We have a guest.
Come on in. Grand rising queen, shine like you mean. Forever may you gleam. You are everything.
Hello, Flo.
What's going on, Knightish?
Everything and nothing at all.
Oh yeah, I had a comment on what I just heard from the few bandits that were speaking. Do you mind if I share that comment?
It was Chanel, Venus, and Mr. Fantastic and Hood Conservative. Which bandit are you talking about?
I'm talking about Mr. Fantastic and Gary, whatever the hell his name is, that Caribbean bandit.
Weren't you married to a bandit?
So we're on subject here. Do you know what I'm talking about, Knightish?
Hood Conservative and Fantastic?
No, it was like Fantastic was talking. He was saying something about how we think we want black women want to be other races of women. They've always
That was
wanted.
Hood Conservative.
Oh, okay. Can you play that part right, like that part back just a little bit, real quick?
Flora, but he wasn't talking about you.
Can you shut up, bandit?
You're African, bro. They wasn't talking
And
about
you're what?
I'm Dominican.
Do you have papers?
I was born here.
No, you told Miss Lockhart that you're from another country. No,
I never said that. I said my lineage.
You're from another country.
I said my lineage is. Listen,
can you just play the video? Because I'm not here to talk to a fighter.
Yeah, because I will cash app Nice $50 if I didn't say that. Yeah, exactly.
Why you send him money? I don't get it. All right, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Open play for black men.
Oh,
you know, girls like to fight. You know,
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
All right, okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, man, it's just crazy to me, man. I came up because, you know, and again, I'm not really trying to particularly start no beat, but it was said that black women need to be worshipped. That is crazy.
That's crazy,
right? And I think Hood Conservative was pointing out the point that black men are the only group of men that publicly, proudly, constantly say some ridiculous shit like that. And where has it gotten us? Where has worshiping the black woman?
All right, can you pause
You're
it
saying
there?
it's ridiculous to worship black women.
So that's delusional, right? Black men, since they
What's
had
delusional?
saying that black men spend a lot of time praising and saying they have to worship black women in the media. The majority of what black men have to say in the media, especially as it regards to black women, is always negative. So I mean, like, first of all, he's coming into the conversation from a delusional perspective, but you know, he continues. So it's not even.
Yeah, but Flora, you're a tether. Flora, you're speaking down on Fantastic because he's a black American man. You're disrespecting.
Can you just? We're trying to have a conversation.
No. You're disrespecting.
I'm not trying to have a dusty conversation with you. I'm trying to stay on topic, please. Knightish, tell him to stop bothering me.
No, Knightish.
Venus at some point is going to say that Fantastic is a tether too.
No, he's not, because that's disrespectful. Because you have this Flora.
We're not talking about any of that. I'm talking about what he's saying about black women.
Flora, but he's not. But he's not talking about.
Hold on, because
he's not talking about Africa. He's not talking about Africa.
He starts talking about how black women have always wanted to be in the position of white women, which is a delusional standpoint.
He's not talking about you. You wouldn't understand.
Oh my God. Knightish, can you just play?
Can we? What I'd like to hear is her point.
All right,
sir,
my bad. All right,
please.
all right, I'll fall back, but just so the
just stop. Let him play the
just so the record, so the record can note that she is Angolan. That's a place in Africa where they speak Portuguese. They it's completely different than here.
But doesn't she deserve to have an opinion, though?
Oh yeah. Anyone can have an opinion.
I would like to hear it.
Donald Trump can have an opinion on collard greens.
And we should be respectful and listen to everybody's opinion, I believe.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Flora. Immigrant.
Wow. Oh my goodness. These men are too much. And this is what I mean, you know, even somebody like Fantastic, who like some people in this space will revere as being like a good debater or having good talking points. Majority of these men come on here with the most wild, egregious talking points. Fantastics being that black women want to be white women. This is something that they've done for a long time, especially in the media. We're just trying to triangulate black women against other groups. You know, so it's kind of, I don't know. I just feel like every time I hear these bandits talk, it makes me check out because you just hear stupid, wild beliefs. They don't even care what Black women actually have to say. In general, they just start making up stuff about our opinions, trying to pit us against other races of women because they don't believe in sisterhood, and especially not Black sisterhood. You know, so it's one of those things where you listen to these conversations after a while and you wonder, you know, are we ever going to get past these dull talking points?
No. And there's a sisterhood.
I'm saying you guys the community is against that anyways. Like even
Is there a community?
Yes.
Of who?
Black people.
No, that don't exist.
It absolutely does. Just because people don't value it or treat people within it nicely doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
So what is it? What makes it?
Culture, spaces, environments. Yeah, all of that.
So what is our culture?
Mindset. It's a lot of dust. It used to be really good, but now it's
I'm talking about now.
Now it's a lot of dust. You have rap music and things like that that kind of guide these young men's mind. You know, they view the world through that lens.
You know, that's a Black American culture, so she's shitting on Black American.
You're not
culture.
from here, fighter.
She's African.
All, you spent all that time talking about me. First,
She's
you
African.
spent all that time talking about me. You're not even Black, period. Matter of fact, like to talk about Black American, you're not even Black, period.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Turn your camera on so we can see your yellow ass.
I'm not yellow.
Exactly. Won't turn on his camera.
I'm not yellow.
Knightish, can we keep it on subject because
I'm darker. I'm darker than night. I'm darker than night. It's not that's colorism. What you're doing? Don't Angolans bleach their skin? Don't do that, man. Don't play like that, man. Don't disrespect hip hop.
This could be a good conversation, but you're just acting like a toddler.
Bro, you're a joke, bro.
You're acting like a kid.
You married this guy off of YouTube.
Like a kid.
You married a guy.
Like a kid.
You married.
We're not here to talk about. You're on probation, living with your mother.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
To talk about anybody, fighter.
No, I have my own spot.
Listen,
you don't have your own spot. I have my own spot.
Listen. You can't even leave a certain area. You're on electronic monitoring.
No, I am not.
Don't talk about anybody. You are on probation right now.
No, I'm not.
You're sitting here lifting, flapping your gums on this panel.
I'm not on
We're trying
probation.
to have a discussion about the panel that he's reviewing.
So, all right. So, hold on. So, this is the issue,
No. I don't want to hear nothing from a Mexican.
I'm not Mexican.
Disrespectful. Let him continue the conversation.
Hold on.
Play the video.
The conversation is about all these different barriers and arguments and everything else. When we having these discussions where we started off with talking about bread and buns, talking about, you know, people on these panels doing this and what do they think the effects are on the people from the outside looking in. With all of this, do you believe we think about the future? That's what this show is about. When I say you're out to lunch, do people even think about the future? That's what the show is.
Not bandits. Like you see certain bandits on here who, you know, they're living their life via, you know, whatever digital connection that they have, parasocial relationships that they have. They're not planning for the future. They're making decisions to get a rise out of the internet, to get attention. They don't understand the repercussions.
This is coming from somebody that married somebody.
Are you when you get off probation? I promise you can say anything you want to me.
I'm not on probation.
When you get off probation,
I'm not on probation.
Yes,
I'm not on probation. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You had a gun charge. There's no way your probation is done already. So don't get on here talking about nobody with a criminal record.
I have a gun. I had a gun charge. How you know I got a gun charge?
Yes, we do. Everybody in this space knew you had a gun charge.
How they know that? How would
because
they know
we know your business.
Parasocial. You heard what she said. Parasocial.
So
yes, we know his business. He's one of those people who used to be on here telling way too much, and then somebody found out that he had a gun charge.
Wait, nah. Some you must have been trying to. Nah, you must have.
Get okay.
Yeah, nobody knows what Angolans say, right? But we know what Dominicans say.
You
right?
have a gun charge. Nobody with a criminal record can come up here and tell me what about myself. No,
Really?
nobody.
But doesn't your husband have a criminal history?
Nobody.
Doesn't your
I'll
husband
buy
have
you
criminal
a tooth.
history?
If I buy you a tooth, will you leave me alone?
You need a new mouth.
If I buy you a tooth, will
You
you
need a
leave
new
me alone?
That's not your hair in that
I have
picture.
all my teeth.
That's not your hair. You need, but
That's not your
they're
head.
ugly.
That's not your head. That's not your head. Shut the hell up.
That's not your hair.
That's
It's
not
not.
your head.
Yo,
Smell head.
yo, you look
How you smell
you look
hair?
like the bug. What's the
How you
little?
smell hair?
You know
How
a
you
pube?
smell
You know what a pube is?
Knightish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know what a pug is? The PUIG pug, the little dogs with the
Oh, that's a pug.
a pug.
Okay, see,
Yo,
this is a non-American. He was trying to troll your conversation. Like,
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill.
There you go.
Yeah, one at a time.
She looked like that dog.
a puke.
You know, really, honestly, this is counterproductive. I love the topics that you're bringing, Knightish. I love it, but the point of the matter is, this is case in point exactly what you're referencing, and that's part of the issue that we and we are the elders, and we don't apologize for being the elders. We don't apologize for being the elders, because if you don't have the elders, you really won't know where you came from. And a lot of people, no matter what country, continent, or place they come from, they don't have the elders. And then there are some who still have some, but don't regard them. You'll have somebody who's an old person that's in the family. That person will sit in one part of the house while they're having a big, festival or something going on in the house, a dinner or whatnot. Nobody will even go and purge or pull out any of the knowledge that person has. And then when somebody does, they get to find a lot of answers to some of the stuff that's going on. Now, I'm not saying you got to use everything that people are saying, but you can definitely eat the watermelon and spit out the seeds. And for those of you who don't know that watermelon has seeds, yeah, they're supposed to have black seeds, real ones that can, duplicate or replicate themselves, that continue to reproduce. These are the things that need to be dealt with, because I submit exactly what you said earlier, Knightish. A lot of the things that are going on within, the melanated community are definitely symptoms of COINTELPRO. That is exactly what COINTELPRO was designed for originally. When you look it up, dealing with the federal government, you will see that's exactly what it was made to do. It was not made to divide anybody else. Now, it may work for others, but it was definitely divide our culture. That's exactly what it was for, and it works.
I think this is these young people's way of flirting.
No, see, this is my thing though, Knightish. A lot
It's
of
like, in elementary school when a guy come and pull a girl hair.
Oh, I remember that.
But that's not fair, Knightish, because there's a lot of
Knightish, but
there's a lot of people who
Knightish.
are.
Look who she was married to. Come on, man. Don't disrespect me like that, Knightish. You seen the women I've been with.
There's a lot of
you seen the caliber of women. I'm very shallow when it comes to looks. Come on, brother. You think I'm gonna do something?
There's a lot of bandits.
I will not do that to my bloodline, sir. You think I'm gonna
There's
do
a
that?
lot of bandits online who are
crazy,
fixated on me and my personality. I'm
Spider
sorry.
complex. Why do you care who she was married to?
Right.
That was her selection. Why would it matter to you? It doesn't matter to me. Why can't we listen to what she's saying
Because it's
and
hypocritical.
deal with it, but deal with the content of what she's saying?
Ms.
We
Lockhart.
we all have issues in our past where people can say that some of our decision making was, counterproductive, or it wasn't a good decision. But it doesn't discount what they're saying now.
Miss Lockhart, would you listen to a wino on the corner?
If he says, hey, he can be right. If he says it's 12 o'clock and it's 12 o'clock, he ain't wrong.
Oh, so that's the whole clock. The clock will be.
It doesn't even have to be that. The point that I'm making is you cannot discount a human being and the things that they have to share based upon any set of mistakes that they have made. Because once you do that, then you've made yourself a god. And you cannot be a god in that sense.
No,
Allow her to have her comment and be respectful so that everybody can get some content out of this and hear it and appreciate it for what it is.
No, Miss, there's
The crazy thing is, if we
we
know what you people
a god versus a peasant. There's a huge,
you're a peasant. Your ancestors are peasants.
There's a huge
Try again.
But you're not wearing your real hair. You don't love yourself.
You're not wearing your red hair. You don't love yourself.
You don't.
You don't love yourself.
You're not from here. You're not even from this continent.
I'm not from this continent. What does that mean?
No, you're from Mars, from Jupiter. Where the fuck they find your kind of people?
Okay.
Anyways,
that was
the
wild.
point that I was trying to make,
That was crazy. That was crazy. Wow.
These people become fixated on you. You don't even know them, and they are obsessed with your life.
So I'm an extraterrestrial.
Yeah, you are. You're another species. There's something wrong with you. You come from a different planet. Yes.
That's that weed. That new weed, man, is crazy, yo.
You have any more clips, Knightish?
Yep.
What you got next? What's up next?
Thank you, Knightish.
Yes, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous for a group of people to worship women that have resulted in nothing but negatives from their behavior.
Damn.
It's ridiculous. And it's called I didn't say no while nobody was talking.
Sorry.
It's called enabling, right? So when a junkie is on drugs and you keep, encouraging them to do drugs, or an alcoholic is, drinking alcohol, you keep encouraging them to drink alcohol. If you keep encouraging behavior and you keep giving them positive feedback, they have no reason to change their behavior. So one of the major issues and problems as to why we just keep getting lower and lower and worse in the dumps is because Black women keep getting praised for being underperformers, for horrible behavior, for all of the negative things. And they get to come out here and they get to lie and make shit up, right? Most educated. Never been the most educated. Always been a lie.
Pause it right there.
Make more money than Black men. Never made more money than Black men. Always been a lie. So that's what we're saying.
Are you
to
able
the
to
point
pause
of where you will worship a person that's a liar, okay? That's got the kids dumb as hell while they claiming to be the most educated, and it's just nothing but these negative outcomes. Now, as far as this white woman goes, it's content. Yeah, I don't really take that for anything other than like MJ said, this is just rage bait, right? But at the same time, are white women really jealous of Black women? Can we be serious? Can we be fucking for real for just 1 second?
The
Are
answer
white
is
women,
yes.
Asian women,
Yes.
white women, Asian women, or Hispanic women? What?
Not Asian women, but white women, absolutely yes. 1000%
Yeah, no,
yes.
and no, and that. See,
Is
it's
that
the
the
reason
voice of
why.
Venus?
It's
Yeah,
the reason
Venus.
why it's called. It's the
Hey,
reason why
Venus.
it's called. So it's the reason why it's called Miss Ann syndrome, right? It's not called Miss Shaniqua syndrome, right? So the Black woman has always wanted to be in the place of the white woman.
Oh, shit.
Always. Now, I'm not
don't.
saying that as a
You
braggadocious
guys
thing or something.
actually cool more than us. You're the ones who
No,
obsessed
no,
with them, not
never.
us.
There are no Black divestors for men.
What?
There are no Black male divestors.
All right, so we just gonna lie now.
As much as Black women want to be in the position of white women, and they
Yes.
have that secret envy, they will actually
Everything.
accuse you of something negative. You want to be the white man if you want to actually run your house a certain type of way.
Wait,
If you believe in
conservative, you said it
traditional marriage,
today.
they accuse you of some type of white
Conservative.
shit. This is why I've got to the point where I say, yeah, I want the
Conservative.
relationship that the white man has. 'Cause
Go get
you
a
want,
white woman.
you want
then.
all the benefits that the white woman wants, though.
Go get
If
the
you
white
want
woman.
all
It's
the
for his
benefits that the white woman wants,
Land his
if
plane.
you
I'm
want,
gonna
if you
ramble
want,
through so
Well,
I
shit,
can't make
my
it's not a
Y'all
remedy.
gotta let
It's
him
not a
wait. Y'all
remedy.
gotta let him on.
It's
my
not
shit
a
got
remedy.
hijacked. I was almost done.
All I need is one mic.
If you want the benefits that the white woman wants, then you got to give me the relationship the white man has. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me be a white man.
Let me hijack my own plane back, right? So, like I'm saying, man, it's just more rhetoric and it's just more bullshit of where if a Black man has an issue and a problem, and the Black man has not had the ability to do what we're able to do now, but for like maybe 5 strong years, right? And everybody wants the Black man to shut up because he's whining. He needs to figure it out. He needs to find the positive Black women and the positive people. Don't make any of the complaints that may be actually valid and actually true and not made up versus the lies that Black women have told on Black men for the last 30, 40 fucking years. You're gay. You're deadbeat. You don't take care of your kids. You don't want to be married. All this shit, all this rhetoric, all these lies, right? And now the niggas finally got the opportunity to speak our mind. Now you got to shut up. Now.
Wow. You know, Knightish, I know that there are a lot of white men that would totally disagree with that, because there are a lot of white men who have had wives who happen to have been white, who've treated them unfairly or cheated on them, or when they did finally get the divorce, a whole lot of information comes out and they take their entire estate and roll out with it. There are a lot of white men who will probably disagree with a lot of that, I think.
Disagree with what part exactly?
How, for example, he was saying that, you know, you have a black man who goes and get a white woman so that he can, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, a lot of black women want to be the white woman because they want to get how they want to get treated like them. But then there's a lot of men, that's why I just go get the white woman, or to have that good time that the white man has. There are a lot of white men who would disagree with that. Bad people are in every demographic.
Manosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was a black manosphere, it was the manosphere, and then it was all white people, Rolo Tomasi and all of them people talking about white women. But I don't know what it is about Fantastic or Venus or Hood Servative or MJ, or because to me, you got their side, they got all their talking points, and you got the women got all their talking points, and they literally want to do that. What we just saw Fighter and Floor do, they literally just want to do that. They already know they're not going to agree. They just want to go back and forth.
But the problem is, you guys act like it's women who want to have battles.
See how she said you guys? I clearly said
no, I'm talking about you too, because you acted.
You're not talking about me.
Why I'm saying you guys is because you act
talking about me.
This is your channel. You could very well moderate.
You're not talking about me.
I am talking about you now.
You're not. You're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
Yes, I am. Again,
you see, that's what I mean by this is what I mean. This is what I mean by one second. So you're actually on my channel telling me it's my channel, but you're gonna talk over me? You're actually not talking about me because I don't say any of those things.
Actually, you do, because you just said it. You try to be exclusionary. You try to be exclusionary as if you don't make the same type of talking points, but you do. You just said you just said this is all what these people want to do online. I didn't come on here and ask to argue with Fighter. I actually made several points. Miss Lockhart asked him to stop, and he continued.
No. So you're a bad listener. You're a bad listener. I said that people come on here to argue. You think that coming on here saying these men are bandits is not an argument. You think coming on here saying that these men are nakers is not you trying to start an argument. You thinking that all the things you say is about how bad these black men are is not an argument. That's every single thing. I don't call you any of these names. You come in saying you're the naker slayer, bandit slayer.
What are you talking about?
What is your name? What is your name on your avatar?
Bandita Reformer. Bandita Reformer.
So you just reforming the women?
Where is that talking about men?
So you're wait. So,
okay, you don't want to talk.
Flora.
No, you don't want to talk.
Are you saying that you didn't say you didn't say you was coming to reform bandits at first? You wasn't calling people nakers at first. You wasn't coming up here to say all these things that these black men do. You don't come on panel specifically for that. If you're saying that, you are a liar. I do not call women hair-headed hoes, Doberman pinchers, all this shit these people do. But since you hate men in general and you're a misandrist, you want to clump me into it. Show me any show with me calling somebody a German Shepherd. Show me a show where I'm calling somebody a hair-headed hoe. No, y'all come up here and spew all that hatred of men, and if somebody say something back, you think you rage quit means something. You're wrong. And it's crazy to just come out and I'm 55, about to be 56-year-old. You think I'm on here talking crazy about black women? I was married to a black woman until she passed away. Y'all are insane and don't know it. Y'all been saying to me forever, you have red pill talking points. Tell me the ones I'm saying. And y'all never say them. Y'all just rage quit. Since you won't let me just come up here and just shit all over black men. You're one of them. That's crazy to me. Literally insane. So I'm listening to Fantastic Talk. I'm listening to Venus Talk. What I'm hearing is two people who have what sounds like a manifesto or a list of stuff that they want to say, and they're not going to change either one's mind. She's saying that black men are coons. She just said it verbally. She just literally said it. And his response is, no, y'all are. So they both calling each other coons. And what are they supposed to take from that? Nothing. They're just a bunch of, and I've been listening to this for 3 years now. Neither person, it's a stalemate. Neither person wants to stop fighting. Y'all love it. Y'all are laughing and giggling while y'all say the most horrible stuff to each other.
I just think that for us to use another culture as an example of how we should be is not cool, because every single group of people have problems.
They're both
every single, but you know what I mean? So it's like you have, white men and women who've been married or who've been in a relationship, who have children together, and they break that thing off. And at the end, both of them, both the white man and the white woman, will have a negative comment or a negative, or would have had a negative experience with that individual. And then here you have us coming in, and I don't know where this whole thought process was created that any of us want to be somebody else. And if you do, then that's an isolated issue. It's not a group collective. It's not a collective. There may be people who do want to be with certain folks. Well, that's their preference. And if that's their preference, that's on them. But we can't take circumstances and say that is the lot of them. You can't say that. I can't say all men are dogs. I can't say all women are, hat hair H's or WHOs or whatever. I can't do that. I don't know why we're not dealing with circumstances based on an experience with one individual or, 2 or 3 individuals. I don't believe that we want to be, I don't want to be a white woman. I don't. I like who I am. I've always loved me. So I don't want to be that person. So when I hear people put everything in a generalization or just dump everybody in one pot, I question, where did that person come from? Is that person even from this land? Who are they? I don't even know the people that was talking. I probably know them or know of them. But when I think about it, I'm trying to understand, how does that benefit our group that we're trying to raise? My grandchildren, I can only deal with me and my family. So when I hear that stuff, it just causes the divide that is where we now have this problem. Because believe it or not, a lot of people are being educated by social media. And so wouldn't it be rich if the people who had control over social media were able to, I don't know, drop different ideas into that vast world that can touch so many different people, that will affect a culture, that would affect a neighborhood, that would affect inevitably a group of people from the same area, because people who look like them are saying those things. And then a person who maybe can't get a date is like, yeah, that's the reason why I can't get a woman. Or maybe that's the reason why I can't get a guy. Yeah, that's it. No, we got to start to investigate the individuals who are promulgating some of this stuff. We need to start investigating, where did that thought process come from? How do we get here? Because my question is, and will always be, what is happening with our people? What is going on with the youth? Where are they really headed? What's the issue within the community? What is the problem? There's a problem, and we got to weed that thing out, and we got to call it out whenever it comes in our circle. Because a lot of people who we have never seen their faces have a lot to say about what, people who are from here, people who were born in places like California, who were born and bred here, whose people are from here. There's a lot of stuff that's infiltrating our community. And my question is, where did it come from? Because a lot of this stuff, none of us was thinking about. Didn't nobody want to be Miss Ann? They were telling us to cover our hair when it was in Louisiana. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, with our hair grew so long and curly. Cover the hair because somebody else was admiring it. Then after we started covering it, they didn't like the wraps the way they were doing because they were elaborate. So it was always a matter of control. This is that. This is another form of control. So I submit that anybody listening on the sound of my voice, the very next time you hear some new, odd sounding, archaic idea some barbaric idea. Question that individual. Where do you come from? Where your mama and them come from? Where were you raised?
Fada says she came from Angola.
Well, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking
look
about
what
Flora.
she's saying right now. Black men, and whatever's after that don't matter. Because look how she started off. Black men can't even have intellectual conversations. I don't think what was being said right there was about intellectual anything. I think you just was getting what you usually get off. And where did I get it from? I've been listening to you for 3 years, Flora. And I don't block you or stop you or drop you or nothing. You've been calling people bandits and nakers since Cynthia G channel. Y'all came here with that. If I didn't know Taz, is Taz one of these black men that can't have an intellect? Because you got the people you mess with, and then you got the people that you just want to clump all together. It's just BS. Nobody's bullying you. You just have a history of just going up and windmilling, just throwing stuff at everybody. And it's a lot of ladies that come in my chat, and y'all young ladies. I think y'all young. Y'all all young, and y'all got all this bitterness. And then where did it come from? If I listen to what the ladies say, and I do listen to what y'all say, because your grandmama is supposedly Miss Seeley from The Color Purple, and granddaddy was knocking her head between the washer and the dryer, and she told y'all that. And your grandmother told you that you need to go out here and get your own life, and you don't need no man. And your grandmama told you that these niggers ain't shit. Y'all said this, these ladies that be in my chat, not just Flora. I don't want to go through all y'all names, but y'all come in just flinging stuff. You listen to me for however long y'all sit up here going back and forth in the chat, and then you'll tell me that listen, the only person I heard calling somebody a hairhead is something was Tommy Sotomayor. Just him. The only person I heard calling people German shepherds was Minister Jap. Just him. So when y'all go, y'all calling people this and y'all calling people that, who is the y'all? Be specific, because I'm telling you who said it. Miss Tommy Sotomayor said it. Minister Jab said it. Then y'all got a thing against Kevin Samuels. So Kevin Samuels is Kevin. Y'all say Kevin Samuels is your daddy. Me and Kevin Samuels is the same damn age. How can somebody my same age be my damn daddy? Y'all come in fighting. Now, Miss Lockhart is not so. I've never heard Miss Lockhart say none of this kind of stuff. And what do y'all call her? A mammy. I never heard security boss say any of this kind of stuff. And what do y'all call her? A mammy. So make up your mind. Is it just dudes doing stuff to y'all, or do y'all just love to fight? So y'all just gonna clump Kevin Samuels, Minister Jap, Tommy Sotomayor together and say that's y'all. That's how y'all think. Because them men said some stuff. We literally got on this panel right here, Frida Green, that disagreed completely with the manosphere and the red pill. He's literally up there saying to another black man, because y'all want to be that white man, because y'all want to be that white man. You say, so is he one of the ones that Sharon is on here every day, just whatever a woman says, all right. Is he one of these black men that can't have an intellectual conversation? No, you just flinging shit and you don't care where it lands. So stop the black men and you men in my face. Be specific on the men you heard say that or saw do that. I'm a man who literally was married to a woman till she passed away. That don't mean that just because you was married, you can still be a red pill. You can still be. So it doesn't matter what I say then. Y'all come in just wanting to fight with a man. Mella comes up here doing that. I can't even remember all the names because they all come up here on the same stuff. They make blanket indictments and they paint with a wide brush. And that's the stalemate. So no matter how much positive stuff I say, I'm a part of this group. I have a daughter, 32 years old. I have 2 granddaughters. No, 3. My son just had another girl. So 3 granddaughters. You just a nut. But I let you rock out because that's what it's for. Let people talk. You just bugging this all.
Thank you for the money, cheese, ready to go. Good scratch, squill of paper.
Romello 747 Bonkai $10. Lockhart, your voice and tone reminds me of home. appreciation.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for supporting Knightish and his work. It's you guys, come on, give it up. Give him $1, $2, give him something.
And all of this argument that we listen to right now is because this white woman that you see on the screen is talking about you can twerk and you can this and you can this, but can you be natural like her?
Let me hear it. Do you have a place where we can hear what she's saying?
Oh, yeah. Let me rewind it where she was saying this stuff.
Stop generalizing us.
Knightish, you going live later too?
Hmm?
I don't know. This is taking all the fucking energy out of me. This is like fucking
you know this nigga.
I've been up all day. I'm
yeah, hey, you know this nigga can be like at 4 a.m. talking about Sharon and like all these.
You be at 4 a.m. watching the fuck.
No, one person, bro. Sharon, bro.
Hey, you know at 4 a.m. that nigga be talking
Triple
about.
Black. Let me ask you a question, brother. What will I be wearing?
Oh my God.
I don't know, man. God damn, you might.
Weird ass nigga, you know all about me. Okay. A diaper. What will I be sitting in?
A diaper? What
will I be sitting in? I'll have a diaper and what?
Yeah, let's go back to the video.
Yeah, let's get back into the clip.
Goofy ass nigga.
Yeah, that nigga gay fuck.
There's a bunch of you weird ass niggas in this space too.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Get them Knightish.
Dog, at 5
better
a.m.
than
that nigga
neither
be
are
talking
we,
about
but-
JP and Sharon. Watch.
If we did go tit for tat, I mean, do y'all really want to start taking polls? Because if y'all want to do the who's got the best work and who can do the do, y'all got it. Let's take a poll on feminine, soft-spoken, waking up all natural with nothing but naturalness.
And are white women more soft-spoken?
Hell no.
Women rough up, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. I met some that was very soft spoken, and they approach niggas. They approach niggas. Yeah, and you were gonna front.
Wait a minute, Dr. Umar. Wait a minute. So y'all gonna say that white women are more feminine and softer, whereas black women are masculine?
No.
I'm not gonna say feminine, but they're
just
definitely
better
more soft.
liars. They're just better liars and manipulators, and that's
all women are liars.
Wait a minute, let everybody get a chance. Let Knightish go.
That's based off the manosphere itself, because all them black folks came from the regular manosphere. And if you ask Rollo Tomasi and all of them, they just better liars. They fake feminine.
I'ma just say.
So that's what she said. She's more feminine and soft-spoken and more natural.
Well, and I'm going to say this. I think all women have the capacity to be that way, and all women, you will find in each culture a sector of women who are like that. But at the same time, if I have to juxtapose a topic, I'm going to do this topic like this. There are women who are soft-spoken, who are quite manipulative in all cultures. And that soft-spokenness is a way to lure you in. But then when you're with them, you will find that what's going to happen is you're going to be doing all kind of stuff. And then when you do not play in her role the way that she wants you to be, you're going to get 911 dialed on you quicker than than I can say. This ain't my channel, so I'm not going to cuss, because I do cuss. But my point is, you're going to find that they're going to dial 911 faster than anybody else. And I know that for a fact. I remember telling my sons to make sure that they were cognizant of the women that they dated. No matter who they are, you need to be cognizant of who you dating. And I tell you one thing, some of them got out there. I have 4 sons, some of them got out there and they messed around and found out. So there are calmness, people use a tone for a certain reason. You feel me? They are using that tone for a certain reason. You will find a lot of white cats, if you have a conversation with them, that will tell you, yeah, man, she was calm. She was cool. She was collected. She was all of that. And at the same time, plotting on this man. So I really question the people who are dragging that trash into our communities. I cannot imagine people coming with that organically out of their own mind, and they were born and raised and had people. I'm going to keep going back to COINTELPRO. I'm going to keep going back to that, because every time I see it, I see people that I've never seen their faces. I only see their avatar. And then I see people who are saying it, who have everything in the, have everything against us, that don't like us at all, and they're not even from here. So when I hear these things, I begin to probe and I begin to dig and I begin to do some research on them, right? Don't bring those things to our community and then think that it's going to stand, because there's some of us that's still here who are going to keep bringing the mirror back. Do you know this person? Is this you? If it ain't you, then you know this is not what you need to be saying. So when I hear chicks like that talking, I don't pay her no mind. I don't pay her no mind, because my question is, who sent you? Who sent you? Why do you feel like it's necessary for you to take time out of your day and say this about our people? Who sent you? You didn't think of this on your own. You weren't just at the grocery store squeezing melons and decide, I think when I get home, I'm going to make a TikTok about white women being soft and submissive in comparison to black women who are quote unquote masculine. Baby, we're not masculine. We were the ones that was breastfeeding your great-great-grandmama them, okay? We weren't masculine when your great-great-grandmama them refused to milk y'all. We were the one doing it, okay? We weren't masculine then when we had to stay in a lactating state year after year after year after the birth of our last child just to feed y'all. We weren't masculine then. We weren't masculine when Massa and them was tipping. We wasn't masculine. But now, because you see us in this particular situation where we have had to use our strength, unfortunately, to deal with a lot of the crap that A, we may have chose to be in, and then B, we just found ourselves in. Now we're masculine. So I submit, again, another submission, that a lot of this stuff that we're hearing is injected into our community to do exactly what it's doing by the individuals who do have the power to have platforms. Do you honestly think that they're going to have the same power to have the platforms and not do the divisive work of somebody else who wants them to do it? Come on now, we got to think.
Thank you for the money, cheese, ready to go. Good scratch, squirrel paper.
Romello 747 Bonkai, $10 for Miss Lockhart to be able to cuss. So for the cuss jar.
I don't come under the people's channel cussing, but I sure will cuss on mine. One of my mods are here, actually two of them, Michael Powell, as well as one of my other ones, Mr. Charlie Sigler. They already know I go. When I go, hey, Solemn Peace knows that I go when I go. If I got to do it, I got to do it. But my whole thing is we have to really begin to open our eyes when we start to trust information that we really didn't think about. They're Charlie laughing. We don't walk. I mean, I can't imagine a white woman squeezing melons or choosing her eggs in a grocery store and then taking the time to sit down and make a TikTok about that. What prompted that? Who is she? Where does she come from? What does she do for a living? Who does she know?
Mahogany came on this panel later on and said she believes that her black boyfriend put her up to this.
Well, and then in that case, she's manipulative and manipulating. She's easily to be manipulated and she's manipulative. Okay. So of course, if that's the case, if you're getting it from if you're getting it from Long Duck Dong and that's who giving it to you, then of course you're going to be manipulated to say something. But then at the same time, let homeboy shade outside the lines in that color crayon book that you created in his fantasy world, and you're going to get 911 dialed on you, sir. And them boys going to take them tears that she shed, not only for you, but for the white dude that she don't have no more. And they're going to cart you off. Check it and see. All she got to do is cry. Because that's what the spirit of manipulation does. There's been a whole lot of white cats that don't tamper with that no more. Why? Because they know that chick. Why? Because she is who she is. And it doesn't matter. There ain't a white cat on the planet that'll touch her no more. Why? Because he already know I can't deal with her. So it goes both ways. There are black women that are the same way. And that's how I know that this stuff is created for us to fall. Because it is in both. It is in all cultures. That stuff is everywhere. Now, there are some of us who know how. Listen, my husband come home. My girl said, oh, he don't come home with this and that. Now he come home a lot more than that. But I tell you one thing, bow. Why? Because he that one. And he come in this house. This is his house. Period. I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm strong when you hear me. Yeah, but I'm not no fool. I know how I'm supposed to conduct myself. Period. But you're not going to hear that when you got people coming in, infiltrating, trying to tear up the rest of it. And that's the reason why Mr. Samuels is not here no more. Why? Because he had a whole lot of people starting to think, ma'am, you are a 6 at best. Ma'am, you better go back to your baby's father. Ma'am, you are wrong. Why? Because she is wrong. When you consider, sister, you ain't a Beyonce. I'm not a Beyonce. We can't get a Beyonce. We can't draw a Beyonce type dude. Sorry, that's the reality. You can think it, but I guarantee you that if you draw him, you better ask some questions. Why do you want me? Why are you here? But because we have ego and we are led by ego, we think he's here because he wants us. Do you got a 4-year-old son that really can't talk that good? You got a couple little boys that's hanging around the house. Oh, but he wants you? You better peep that out. You better peep out the truth. So the problem with him was he was waking up a lot of people. He was waking up a lot of women who had to go back to that dude and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe we should, get a go of it. Maybe I can just handle this a little bit longer. Why? Because he wouldn't do what she wanted him to do. And that's the reason why they're not together. And that's the truth. And nobody got to take it. Nobody got to accept it. But oftentimes it's because we don't do what we supposed to do. Now, take it or leave it, like it or lump it. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. Whether you got a trash can you want to dump it in there. I don't care. The words are going to reverberate forever. Why? Because they're in the universe now. But that's the facts. When he was doing the talk that he was talking, he was waking people up. Yeah, I'm not a 6. I do got about 100 pounds I need to lose. Yeah, a man doesn't like the way that I talk because of X. So why not do this? Why not take that information that you don't like, fix the parts of you that you know you need to work on, and then see what happens when you put that product back on the market. When you take that product that you just fixed based on the trash that he just said you don't like, do what he suggested, see if it works because you've already tried it the other way. Now put it back on the market and see what happens. That's all I'm saying. If you won't put it on the market to see what happens, then you really don't have not a dog in this hunt.
Got me a couple of dollars. Guess what I'm gonna do?
Thank you to Fick Raya. Said, for Izzy sent us over listening from the clouds. Thank you, Fick Raya. Let me see. We're going to this part now.
Yeah, I told Sharon about that shit earlier. All he do is make anti-manosphere content, bro. That's his whole thing.
Mr. Witch Doctor, panel, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go to bed. Nice talking to all of y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Shannon.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
You could go ahead and play the video, MJ. See what we got.
Black man. Of course black women hate me. I date a white woman. Of course I'm on the DL. I date a black man. Of course I don't have standards. I date a white woman. Of course they say I have HIV. I date a black man. Of course my dad's proud. I date a white woman. Of course I'm a sellout. I date a black man. Of course it's just a feather. I date a black man. Of course black women hate me. Of the young black men of the community, listen. When you go into interviews on people's job, you leave that quiero nigga shit at home, bro. Okay? Think with quiero nigga shit at home. Not like okay? The black bitch.
Okay, so her boyfriend, it looks like, is an African. That's her and the boyfriend together now.
You see what I'm saying? So it's two people from outside of our culture trying to tell us what's good.
Yeah.
That's my point. That is my point right there.
Yeah.
But we are addressing the black girls of social media today. This bitch says, keep him, please. We need to rest. Lady, you can pull him on your best day. Don't worry about it. I got this. Yeah, but she need to rest. That stretched out bad.
And can I say something? Pause it right there for just a second. Now she's saying her stretched out bad. She couldn't pull him if she wanted to. That's my issue. Y'all like the man. So people equate that with liking us. but you don't like us. You don't like the women. All you want is what he got. Listen, I had a chicken. I told this story before. When I was working in cosmetics, I was a manager for a big name company. And this girl was a rotator. She would come into our store and do makeup and try to sell products or whatever for us, from the actual company. This chick one day came in and said, "Hi, how you doing? Guess what? Oh, I want to know, can I go out and party with you?" And I'm looking at her like, I'm sorry, what? This chick, bottom line, wanted to go out with me to the club she thought that I frequented so that she could, as she said in her own words, I want to date a black man. Not 6 months later, she found a guy that was a black dude. She brought him to the counter and said, "This is my fiance," and threw her ring in our face. What she wanted was what she got. But see, when you get what you thought you wanted, generally something's going to happen and you're going to learn what everybody else in that culture learned or already know. Okay? All right, now she's sitting up all times of the night looking in the cell phone. Now she wondering where he going when they say he at work and he already clocked out. Now she wondering. Okay, so you get the worst of the worst when you got the worst attitude about the ones you think is the one that's going to help you make it. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing that lady has to say because she doesn't like the people. What she like is what that African can do for her when she needs it. But if he turns his back long enough, and if I know what I know is right, she gonna go with him, not only him, but his brother, his cousin, his best friend, and anybody else. And I'm just gonna let that be there. Why? Because I've seen it happen when people have that mindset. And that's how they walk into a relationship. Oh, I got this with her stretched out vag. Really? Who told you that? Where did you get that from? This COINTELPRO, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just COINTELPRO. That's it. That's made to divide. You got two people outside of our culture, one who's from Africa and this chick trying to tell us who we are. Okay, no worries. She looks like she's from Scandinavia, by the way.
White women more superior than black men.
No. Bitch.
Well, this guy seems to think so. If
Look at here, rat face.
Damn.
You are superior to black women because you are dating an African man. I could bet my bottom dollar he's African. That accent is given. Where is your mother? I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you are ugly. I was taking it easy on you the first video that I did because I was trying to be nice. But hearing you call us dumb black bitches and keep saying somebody's jealous and hating on you, you're ugly. You think you're superior to me? You think you're superior to black women? You think you're superior to the Aboriginal people of planet Earth? Bitch, the sun rejects you. You look like a rat. You look like a gerbil. You look like a wet dog. You're not attractive at all. I hate your mouth. I hate your paper, loose leaf, thin lips. I hate your nose. It looks like a penis. You and your man y'all are not attractive enough to be going on a rampage talking about black women. We don't want him. We don't nobody give a fuck about what y'all doing. You are jealous. You are giving envy. You are giving insecure. If you are happy, you would not be spewing such hatred and negativity. You wouldn't do it. And I'm pretty sure any black women that are saying anything about you is reactionary. There's nothing about that's peaceful. You don't seem like a gracious person. You don't seem nice. You don't seem nurturing. You are a nasty, wicked person. The sun hates you. So you think you're superior to black women? Bitch, you are on some type of, it got to be some type of drugs.
Yeah.
This woman agrees with fantastic.
What is it? Something. You smoking something. Y'all go outside and get blistered up. The earth rejects you. Don't ever in your funky dog head, stringy head ass life talk about black women and think that you are superior. I don't give a damn what type of raccoons is entertaining you with your ugly ass. It's your ugly.
Yikes.
Baby, your womb could fucking never. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. What the heliante? What is going on?
Yes.
That's creepy. Even the response was creepy. The response was creepy, and what the lady was saying was creepy. That is my point. This is not real. It is very scripted. There is no way you're going to tell me that that white lady just thought out of nowhere to get online and spew such vitriol and hate out of nowhere. Where did it come from? That's a totally different woman than the other woman that was. Oh my! I don't.
No, that's
get
the
it.
same white woman. That's the same.
Okay,
woman.
same lady. Well, to me, it just makes me think that honestly, this stuff is a performance. There is no way you're going to tell me. There's no way I'm going to just take my day and just start mowing down white women. There's just no way. I'm not going to, take out a time out of my busy day to just say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to make a video and talk about a whole bunch. Why would I do that? What would I merit? Now, if I'm, if there's some nefarious intent and somebody comes to me and says, hey, I'm going to give you $20,000 a month to make as much content that you can that divides. I don't care how divisive it is. I don't care how incendiary it is. And don't think it's strange that it's over there on TikTok because you can't try that over here, right? I mean, we tiptoe for less. So if somebody has 20 grand in a budget and they throw the money and say, hey, we're going to give you $20,000, make as much content as you can. We don't care. We're going to even give you a boyfriend to use. Here goes Mr. Babatunde. He's going to be your boyfriend. And I want you and him to do all kinds of stuff. I want y'all to go to the mall together. I want you to wait and look for people to have responses on how you guys look together. Even have some PDA. Kiss each other in public. Make a lot of people angry. And then I want you to turn your camera forward and make sure that you show these people looking like this. Oh, for 20 grand? Sure, no problem. Meanwhile, she may have Brad at the house. You don't know where this stuff coming from. You got to question everything. Everything. And that's that.
Okay. Let's see. We're moving to this now.
EAE says, bruh, the pastor Jim Jones used to curse all the time in his sermons. They are all on YouTube. Jim Jones was not first of all, he was not a Christian, and he was a cultist. And you saw what happened with him, right? And his followers. Who else do we have in the chat? Sire says those older blacks don't play that hoochie shit. No, they do not. All right, here we go. Put on big screen real quick.
Future doesn't exist. What if I told you that for many African societies, the concept of the future doesn't exist?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. I don't know where this girl is from. She sounds like she has an Eastern African accent. So she might be Ugandan, Tanzanian. She's probably Tanzanian. I don't know where she's from, but she's definitely an Eastern African.
See that his mic is turned up too loud. That's why it's distorted. So she's just talking about Africans and the diaspora. And why does that not happen over there? Because their politicians are stealing. They got warlords over there that's stealing. So that's why everybody can come over there and give y'all loans and stuff and start building roads and building cities. Then once they start sleeping with y'all, they can start owning that stuff.
That's right. That's a whole Belt and Road initiative. People are thinking that China is so wonderful and they just want to help Africa so much. They just want to go over there and put all these roads and airports and all because they want to help. They want to give them water. They want to give them this and that. First off, Africa got water. And for centuries, they knew how to get that water out that ground. That's letter A. B, the roads and the Belt and Road initiative that they've created is just sitting there waiting for that country to not be able to pay it so that, just as Knightish said, they go right in and take it. And then once they take it, it's not Africa. It's whatever they want it to be. And let's just talk about the name Africa. Isn't that Mr. Africanus' name, who was a European cat?
Yes.
That's Africanus, right. So they don't even call it Africa. If you ask their mama's mama name or their mama's mama name, it was never called Africa. All those countries is just one place and they call it after the person that claims he discovered it. Let that sit there, right?
Same thing is here because this is Amerigo Vespucci. That's where the name America comes from.
It was an island shaped like a turtle. Turtle Island. It was an island shaped like a turtle. Yeah. So every time I hear this stuff, I'm going to say, where is that person from? Where do they come from? Find their name, dig them up. What's their origin? Where are they saying these things from? Because we just got through seeing earlier that the cat that was dealing and the chick, right? They're both from Canada in some way or another. One's in Canada by way of, or one's Jamaican by choice and Canadian by birth, and then the guy is Canadian. But that doesn't mean that, you know, when you see people who look a little like you and they're in Canada, generally they're from France or someplace else. And if you go a little further, you're going to find they're from the continent of Africanus. So I don't understand it. I just don't get it. But if people want to continue to divide themselves based on something that somebody else said, based on, is a mess.
The thing is this: as long as you have the funding and you can throw a little couple of tents up, have some people out there that can throw some shrimp and cold desserts and whatever else, and just tell them, why do we just go? Because that's, to me, Mocha Effects, all those is party planners who go to places, reserve a certain section, and has some caterers or something come out there, and then they tell you, FBA, you ADOS, you Pan-African or whatever you are, this is a black thing. And now you out there living your freakiest life and not even understanding who the party planners are and where all the money go.
Ooh, that's heavy and true. That's worth saying again.
Well, it's the same thing with Essence. Now that Essence is owned by them people, so when you go there and you rent your tickets or buy your tickets off of Eventbrite and where else, where does all the money? It's the same thing with BLM. That's Soros and them three ladies.
Yes.
All that money went to them getting mansions and whatever else. How much of the money came back to the community?
None of it. You know why? Because the preponderance of the donors, if you were to look at their original sheet on Act Blue, were all Democratic politicians, Democratic organizations, Democratic everything. Why? Because in essence, it was not started by them. Somebody had the idea, and then Mr. Soros and others like him dragged that through the mud and had people who don't even look like us and don't even look like nobody from the continent of Africa tearing up them streets, tearing up the communities and neighborhoods. But who took the blame? The black folk took the blame for stuff that was not even exacted upon the community by them. And that's why you saw all the people around talking about, that's not us. Stop. They're going to think it's us.
And I see that's the beauty in calling it Black Lives Matter, because people going to think, oh, this is some black stuff. Yep. Same thing with the Essence Fest. And the same thing with our hair products, because we don't own none of them. The last hair product we own is Broner Brothers. So Afro Sheen ain't made by black folks no more. None of it. Blue Magic, all the grease.
How about Dudley? Did Dudley sell out?
Only people that's left is Broner Brothers. If you don't see a BB on there, it ain't black. So all them. So we go in the store and we just religiously, because we have brand loyalty. You just going in and you getting you some Afro Sheen
or Ultra Sheen. Remember Ultra Sheen? Is that so that's the same? It's now. Oh wow.
None of that. Well, the documentary that Chris Rock put out called Here broke it all down to how all them companies got bought by Asian people.
I remember that. I do remember that. Was it Crackish or something dealing with hair? It
was called Hair.
Okay, Hair. Okay, yeah.
Chris Rock. The movie is Hair. And then all of them weaves is from Malaysian little girls, Brazilian little girls. They let their hair grow out really, really long.
From India too, right?
And they cut it for religious reasons, and they just buy their hair up, wash it off. And then we saw what's her name, Jack A. Harry husband selling hair in the documentary. So we bought. They come in with suitcases and they run their hands through the hair and they're like, "What's this? This Malaysian hair, this Brazilian hair," and then charge you up the wazoo for it. And we could take it off and wash it, and you could use it again.
And the funny thing about it is when you're dealing with that kind of hair, they have to chemically treat it with things like formaldehyde and other things. So you found a lot of people whose eyes would bug out with infections. As a matter of fact, when I had a shop out in Georgia, I had purchased some hair and one of my stylists put a weave in for me. And let me tell you, that stuff had my eyes shut. My eyes were shut. I had to go to the emergency room. Later found out it was because of how they treated the hair. So then you find a lot of us stylists telling the people, okay, well, we washed it. We shampooed the hair for you, and now we'll go ahead and sew it in. Why? Because we had to try to take off some of the chemicals that was on that hair. So you have a lot of lice when you get that hair. You'll see those little white nits inside the hair. For those people who purchase the hair, you know what I mean. And they're little nits that die because of the chemicals that they have to put in it just to ship it. Those chemicals are what breaks you out and makes you sick and gives you allergies. Really, to be honest with you, I really feel like the most important thing for us to do is to know who we are and then begin to love it. And if you begin to love who you are, you begin to find out why does my hair look curly? Because people don't know. You put some grease and water on your hair will begin to look curly, curl right up, and you'll be trying to figure out, wow, why is it curly? Because your hair is curly. And then you know what they did, Knightish? Somebody discovered, hey, they know their hair is curly now. Now let's make some money off of this by telling them it's a 1C, 2C, 4C, 3 this, and all these other names and labels. When you didn't do any of that before, we were called nappy-headed and everything else, but you all knew our hair was curly. We just didn't know. So in the late 60s and 70s, when they started bringing relaxers, conk, as they used to call them back in the old days, we began to, in droves, tear our hair out. My hair was down to my right there below my waistline when I was, 12, 13 years old? All the way up until the time my mother passed away in 1983. And then we started using the creamy crack in our hair, started to tear our hair out. And then we run around thinking that we have bad hair because of the connotation that was told to us. So when you get information about you, first of all, think about it. Who cares about you? And why would anybody want to tell you anything about you? And why would anybody want to give you something good for you if they don't care about you? And we're the main people who side eye. I suggest we side eye everything. And it may seem a little paranoid at first, but don't you think we have a lot as far as history is concerned to be a little paranoid about? I.e. Tuskegee.
Yeah, I don't think about that stuff. And then they'll bring up that was a black nurse that was giving them injections.
Oh, boy. And I have a whole documentary on my channel where you see the people standing there talking to the people that didn't look like that nurse, telling people that it was good because it's going to help you. It's going to prevent you from getting, all these diseases. It's going to prevent you from getting sick. Meanwhile, slowly injecting these people with syphilis and then watching them for a boatload of years until the United States government elected to say they were stepping in to protect it, but it continued to go on even after it was discovered. They watched how the wives caught it. They watched how their children were born with the syphilis that's for a baby. I forgot the name of it. There's a technical term for it. But they sat there and watched it. Same people you guys are asking us to believe, Mr. Fighter Complex. That government, the same government that we're supposed to believe, as you stated earlier, just trust it and not think that, we're out here on a limb or whatever. That very same government sat there and watched to see exactly what would happen. They did the exact same thing in St. Louis, where they began to fog a whole entire area. And now the people have weird cancers. They had a strange fog that the kids used to run through to get home because it was this unbelievable stench in the air. Come to find out, it was poison. And the United States government has papers that they've just recently released that shows, yep, it was poison. And the only reason why they're doing it now is because the majority of the people that were being poisoned at that time, most of them have already died off from quote unquote strange cancers. So it's the same company. It's the same group of people. And I do say company because the United States is a corporation. It is a corporation. Yes, it is. Okay. So when you're telling us not to think that way, we got so much public evidence that tells us we may not be wrong. May not be wrong.
Whatever his agenda was more important in his head, right? Because we don't say white school shooters don't have impulse control when they know they're either going to be killed or put in jail for the rest of their lives, right? We don't say they didn't have impulse control.
Sure, but
they went into that knowing exactly what they were going to do. I think it was.
There's also a whole lot more planning that goes into doing something like that. Then there's a whole lot more planning than, within a couple hours, just saying that, you know what, I'm going to go do this thing. There's usually a whole lot more planning there, which means you're thinking about the future. And yes, I agree with you that those people know that they're going to die or be unalived or whatever.
Yeah, I think he planned that out. I think he knew exactly how he was going to slam him on his skull.
I think he knew exactly that he was gonna bombard him with ground and pound afterwards. I think it was quite thought out. I think he just didn't care. And I think that's a American male problem, not a black male problem, right? Just a lot of American males haven't been raised to think about the future and the consequences of their actions. My opinion.
Isn't not caring the equivalent of not thinking about it?
No.
What's the difference? If you don't care what happens to you, it's just as if you didn't imagine what would happen to you.
It's just not equivalent. You've thought about it. You just don't care. You know you're going to get in trouble. You know these things are going to happen. You just don't care. So it's not a thing of not being thought about.
I think we're kind of
actually
stretching
agree
the
with
terms
BD.
a bit.
I'll be right back.
Well,
Nigel.
I'd actually agree with BD, and I would actually say that, like, I think that in all honesty, he figured that because he was Rampage Jackson's son, wasn't nothing going to happen to him. That's actually what I believe.
That's exactly what happened. What's up, CT? What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
What's going on, man? What say you, man, about the Kenyan woman and what she said about a certain group of people, those people, not having a concept of the future?
Yeah, I've been said it. There's a lot of them people come up here that like to live in the past instead of go to the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to learn how to build a 3D iPad or a flying car or something like that. They want to worry about how to build a bow and arrow and shit. You know what I mean? Or make an arrow.
Well, did you know that Burkina Faso does have a car company? Were you aware of
What
that?
does that even matter?
There's a whole bunch of car companies over there in Africa. Yeah, but that's
what does it matter though?
Because you were saying that these people only think about chucking spears, right? You didn't say that, but I could tell you wanted to.
If you took it like that, you took it like that. All
But
I'm saying
they
is
definitely do think about technology. They're involved in the world of technology. You guys come here and spew these falsehoods.
So let me ask you this.
No sources, because I guess Malefi Asante didn't teach CT to ask.
So the source of people coming up here every day on CT's panel talking about what happened 300-400 years ago, that ain't the source.
Hold on, Moses. I was talking. Chill, Abraham. What I'm saying is, right? You guys say these things like, oh, white farmers in Africa were better, and it's just because they knew how to plant better. And CT asked for no sources. He just let you guys get away with lying.
Okay, well, how about this?
Let's come up here and cry about it all the time.
How about this? Let's
Rampage Jackson. That was more interesting.
Wall Street. Well, okay, go ahead, Wall Street. Go ahead. Rampage Jackson saying, go ahead. If you want to go back, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, he's going to jail for a long time, man.
Okay.
Whatever the assault laws are there, he'll get probation or whatever. But
he ain't gonna get too much time.
But what I'm saying is that Wall Street really, if Righteous Muffin is saying certain things about certain farmers, you have to admit at an industrial scale, they were better farmers.
So is that what we're talking about on an industrial scale?
I mean,
because that means they had better equipment, right?
No, well, because scale. Because if you sit back and think about it, right? Scale, well, hold on. Let me. I'm meeting you halfway. Scalability. You're intelligent. Don't you agree that scale is a level of future? Like
absolutely
scaling something out. That kind of takes a brain or a system of, okay, they're thinking about how many people, they're thinking about 10, 20, 30 years from now. What are the expectations of the population? They're thinking about so many different factors. That's future thinking. They're not just going out.
A lack of scalability can be future thinking as well, right? You would agree.
What?
That it was in the best interest of King Leopold and all these other whites that came. Right.
Go ahead, man.
I mean, you know the rest. Like
and that's the point he just made. He don't know that he made his point for him. But that's the last of our videos, everyone.
Wow.
We don't think about the future.
Wow. Well,
So yeah, they have a guy that has a car that runs on water, but is he just thinking about the car running on water? They have a guy over there that has a car that runs on old cooking oil.
Yeah, but they're not even alive anymore. A lot of those people who made those discoveries, and I say discoveries because if it's able to drive on it now, it was always able to drive on it. But in order to control the masses, of course, they've got to make you believe that it won't work on water, that energy is not free, you know. And so a lot of those cats are not even alive. We have people right here in the United States that came out and did not know that they should have shut up, okay, and got in a public place and started saying what they could do, and you know, something happened to them. All right, something happened. But the mechanization of farms did come from the Europeans. It doesn't mean that it was better. We were doing okay before, and so was the continent of Africa. They were thriving and living for ages. They didn't have a problem until somebody came out and said, "Oh, you got a problem. You have an issue." How are they able to survive without outside influence for, you know, thousands of years? How is that so? You cannot believe everything that they say. I mean, these individuals are a part of the oldest civilizations in the world. That's the cradle of civilization. And so if you got the cradle of civilization going, if you go back to as far as Mesopotamia, then you have Uruk and you have Iran that we call Iran now. You have Turkey, was called a different name then, but all of those areas, that's the cradle. And so if they were able to survive for thousands and thousands of years before, you know, the Romans began, you know, after they were collapsed the first time, came back in spurts in different areas and started to colonize other areas. You know, why are we trying to make it seem like it was such a great thing at that time? Like they were the ones who came in and saved the day. You didn't save the day for a group of people who was already there. How stupid and redundant, how cuckoo do you sound? And even to argue the point without looking at it from a historical standpoint is asinine at best.
Yeah, what they're saying is that these people have 100-year plans, 200-year plans, and part of that plan is for you not to be there.
And I agree with part of that because I think that the plan goes a lot further than that. I think the plan started more than, you know, the 100-year plan. We're living through some of those, right? When we can look at you know, the 2020, 2030, and 2050, and all those different projects that we all, if you go, funny thing is you can find that stuff publicly available. It's like, hey, if we're going to do it to you, we may as well tell you what we're going to do. But because it's, you know, bound between words, you're not going to read it. And so therefore, you're just going to think that it's a conspiracy theory. But it isn't. If you go and look, you just go to the world, just go to WEF's website, just go to these different websites, and you will see what they have as their plans.
Right.
And
so
then go ahead.
Yeah. So when we have all these people that want to fight every day and make blanket indictments about women are this and men are that, we're not focusing on the future because the old things that used to work still work right now. Communities start with families, healthy families, being with like-minded, healthy families and building it out. So when I hear somebody who's talking about somebody's all these different names, no matter which side it's coming from, that's just divisiveness. And what we practice right now is a bunch of individualism. So no matter what their plans are that people have, we're not preparing for them at all because we're too busy talking about the wrong thing.
So true. So true.
Whole panels, 8-hour panels, day after day. The men ain't this, and the women ain't this, and the men and the kids ain't this. It's the Willie Lynch letter, even though that was a hoax.
Ooh. Ooh.
And everybody know about the Willie Lynch letter, but they don't understand you're actually living it out. Man versus woman, old foot versus young, light versus dark, the exact thing it says in Willie. So I go on the panel and it's, you a white man, you ain't even, how can you? It's not worth me responding to, but in my 50s, I was hearing that in elementary school.
And I'm in my 60s, and I was hearing the same thing as well. And hear it now even more than then. I almost forgot it existed for me until I got in this space.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff. I'm not even that light skinned, but you find stupid people who want to make a divide.
Yeah. So if those old tropes still exist and are lingering around, like when I hear about looks and all these other things. So let me understand this. They used to say it was porch monkeys. Now you're saying that. Do you understand that they don't have to talk? We're on autopilot and we're saying this stuff that used to be said to us.
Mm-hmm.
The standard of beauty is it wasn't in Africa. It wasn't the standard of beauty. That's what you were told when you were brought here. So now you're repeating what you were told when you were brought here. If you were brought here, some of us already here.
Come on.
So I mean, it's just a whole lot of conversation about all the wrong stuff. Day after day after day after day, and it's sinking into people's heads. So they're just being more combative day after day after day after day. It's a bad diet. It's not edifying at all. It's like the food, it's like the air, and it's like the water. We need some kind of filter. But any last words?
I want to hear from the gentleman who's down below. Where
Fighter's
is he?
left. He's his avatar's just up. He's gone.
Fighter, are you not there? So I feel that whenever we are having these panels and we have folks that we can't see and we have people that we wonder where they're from or they tell us where they're from, and then we hear what they have to say and we know that what they have to say is contrary to what we live. You see, I have said for a while that a lot of the things were tested on, the Aborigine of this land, so that it could then be rolled out to everybody. And that's what I used back in 2020. I believed that was the pinnacle of what had been, proven. If you tell them that it's from the government, they're going to do it. If you tell them that they have to do it, they're going to do it. If you tell them that they can't work, then they're going to do it. They practiced that long enough, so now they can just roll it out on everybody because, well, they had to have a focus group, and they just used the unwitting people in specific communities to do it. And again, history tells us that. So all I want everybody to do is to make sure that when you start to hear this stuff, begin to look this stuff up, begin to find out where it came from. And everybody is smart enough. And that's the one thing I like about your chat is they're smart enough to say, hey, that came from TikTok. Okay, so now let's look about the propaganda machine that is TikTok. And then let's think about it. If it were so dangerous, and if there were so many people of other ethnicities that were being taken out by it, do you really think that it would be on right now, that it would be allowed to thrive right now? No, it wouldn't. But when it affects theirs, then you're going to see it get shut down. It ain't affected it that much yet. Why? Because a lot of the propaganda that's been allowed to exist has been there to divide. And it's dividing exactly who they need divided. They don't need you loving your man. They don't need you loving one woman, loving your woman. They don't need you to do that. They don't need you procreating. They don't need you keeping your kids in school and educating them at home and starting good family values and eating Sunday supper together. They don't need you guys to believe in anything but the machine that is the government. And so that's what they give you. They need you to stay in fear, because you don't know that you have energy. You don't know that you're made of electricity. So you're okay with having your whole entire being be on this low vibration. That's okay, because you don't know that. And because you don't know it and they're going to keep feeding you the trash that it takes to devour you. And as long as you dance with the devil, you're going to always have your dance card filled. That part.
Thank you, Miss Lockhart. I hope y'all had a good time, but like we always do at this time, you know how I'll wrap it up. It's just me, y'all.
We'll shut this motherfucker down.
That's all, folks.
It is. Appreciate y'all.